Ruto ametuskuma tunateseka, so mimi hadi nakulanga tu every weekend.
Hiyo wakati ya COVID watu wanaona ndo walikuwa wanashikwa na COVID sana.
People should have one meal, ikienda sana 2 meals. Ikienda sana unaomba tu imani na kushibisha.
They are being called names in school. They are called fatso, momo.
I'm a testimonial of that.
Do you know how to determine obesity?
Yeah.
Mtona tu kama mtu amenona, physical appearance inakuonyesha.
There are many ways of determining obesity. For adults, the basic one is BMI. BMI is body mass index. Body mass index is your weight as a proportion of your height. So we calculate your weight and your height, then it gives us an index of your BMI.
Obesity isn't just about one's self-esteem. It has become a health crisis that affects every part of a person's life. Here at Health and You, we will help give you tips to manage and prevent obesity. My name is Maria Jones. Enjoy.
Obesity is basically accumulation of fat in the body, and not just fat. It is classified as obesity when the fat causes a health risk to you as an individual. It causes you health issues, complications, and other medical things that may arise because of that fat. So not just everybody who is big is obese. So there's a classification and the effects that come therein that makes obesity to be a risk factor. So we calculate your weight and your height, then it gives us an index of your BMI. So the classification is basic from 18.5 to 24.5. That is a normal BMI, means your nutritional status is optimum. Then anything above 24.5 to 25.5, that is now overweight. 25.5 to 30 is obese. 30 to 35 is morbid obesity. So there's obese class 1, class 2, and morbid obesity. So we use those basic markers to determine obesity. But of course, with the advancement of technology and science, nowadays we use body composition analyzers, which are more advanced and can get into detail to give us the real picture of your obesity status.
The food that watu wanatumia nowadays, kuna many zinatumiwa na drugs, so ndio zikuwe haraka. So unaweza pata the drugs, they are affecting our bodies in such that mtu anakuwa dina obese.
Our Kenyan setup majorly, remember in Kenya, for example, we have around 8% of the population to be obese, meaning out of 100 people, every 8 person is obese. Why? Majorly because of the diets. Our diets are predominantly westernized. Previously, we used to have our local foods, our intake, but we've adopted more of the Western culture diet. So people consume more of fats, more of sugars, and more of processed foods. So the more we take this, then we ingest a lot of sugars and fats into our system. So that means now the body accumulates a lot of calories. The body is fueled by what you call calories. So when you ingest more calories than you actually need, the body stores the excess calories in the form of fats. So it may be deposited along different organs, for example, the abdominal area, what people will call mataya. So many people call tires, and maybe on the arm, maybe on the behind, and different parts of the body. Another contributing factor is not just ingesting too much. Sometimes it's because you don't work out as much. Remember again, most of our lifestyle nowadays are sedentary. They're not as active as previously. So people move from their house to the office, sit on their desk 9 to 5, come from the office, get into a cab, back home. So we are less active. People are a bit more sedentary. So now coupled with the too much ingestion of excess calories, then we are burning less. Now if we burn less, then it means we still have the easy option of accumulation of these fats. Another cause of obesity can be genes. There are people who are born with genetic predisposition to obesity because it runs in the family. But to some extent, I don't agree with the genes because we don't eat genes. So even if you are born with those genes, again, it's upon you to control your intake, to control what you consume, how you consume, and physical activity. Again, obesity can be as a result of some medication. There are some medication if you take, then they can they make you add weight, which to some extent may contribute to that obesity. Of course, for ladies again, baby fat, there are people who go through post-pregnancy, then they end up accumulating fat. If it's not well managed with a professional nutritionist, again becomes an issue in their lives.
Heart attack kwanza mtu mnono. Mtu mnono unashikwa na attack mbaya sana. Kwanza huyo mtu ukiweza mshtua hivyo, heart attack inamuangusha chini.
Hypertension, blood pressure, diabetes.
Hautakuwa sawa kiakili.
One of the leading killers globally is cardiovascular conditions with heart attack, stroke, and those kind of things. Why? Is because of obesity. Obesity causes accumulation of fats within the system. They may block arteries or veins. When it causes a blockage in the brain, for example, it may cause you a stroke, partial stroke or a complete stroke. If it causes a blockage in the heart, it may cause you to get heart attack because of the blockage again. If it blocks your veins, for example, it may cause you to have buildup of blood pressure. These fats again can go into your gallbladder, for example. If they go to your gallbladder, they cause you to have stones. If they go to your kidney, for example, they make you have issues with blood pressure. So obesity in itself is a silent disease because it puts you at risk of several diseases, which are easily managed when you control the intake of the foods you take, your physical activity, and some of these other things. Remember, obesity also affects women of reproductive age. For example, what you call PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. When you're extremely overweight, then you start getting issues with cysts at an early age. For example, you get teenagers with cysts, you get young women with reproductive age with cysts because of obesity as well. For men, it may affect even reproductive performance because of the excessive weight. So again, remember, it affects that by itself. Mentally, we have seen how people have been trolled, have been bullied, have been vilified online because of their physical look and appearance. So it is also a contributor of mental health, depression, and those kind of things. Even small babies who are obese, many of the times you find in school they're not performing well because they don't have self-esteem. They are being called names in school. They are called Fatso, Momo, those kind of funny names. So it affects this child as they grow up. They grow up closing up. In later stages in life, they grow up. So obesity is also a big contributing factor in mental health cases.
Nakaa unajua mwili yako si ile mwili ya kubeba vitu vitu haziko healthy. Unastahili kujiprevent na kukula hizo vitu.
Eating too much fats, sugars, and a lot of processed foods, then I will advise that we do more of our natural foods, the ndumas, the ngwashes, these things which are readily available, as opposed to processed foods. Remember, some of these diets are not cultural to them as Africans. They are things that are strange, they are foreign. So it's important that you check on your plate. But of course, working through the professional nutritionists, they can help you to manage your meals, to manage how much and how you intake them, even the calorie density that you take of these foods. So it's important that we add physical activity to our daily routine. It is recommended that you do at least 120 minutes per week for physical activity. So even if you're working in an office setup, you are restrained, then you can find ways of incorporating physical activity. Good thing nowadays we have fun activities like hiking, mountain climbing, going out with friends. Those are still physical activity. It doesn't have to be the strain of going to the gym and overworking, no. But you can find fun activities that add physical activity into your daily routine. And of course, there are also medical management that you can use if it is a medical condition. Management is now, I've done for you, for example, a body composition analyzing test, and I've determined that you are very obese. There are classifications where, for example, when you're morbidly obese means 30 to 35. When the BMI scale reaches that, then sometimes it may go to an extreme, for example, a surgery, what we call bariatric surgery. Bariatric surgery may work to reduce your weight through surgical procedures. That is of the extreme cases, because now when you have morbid obesity, diet and other things may not work. Of course, we also have options like liposuction, but liposuction is more of cosmetic as opposed to surgical and medical, but it's also an option that some people can use. But conventional methods include checking your weight and working with a professional dietitian or nutritionist to check your diet. They make for you a diet plan, they make for you a meal plan, and also check the foods that you eat. Of course, you also have medication. People can be given medication. For example, lipid lowering drugs can help to remove excess cholesterol within the system. So there's medication for that. There are medication that can help you with suppressing your appetite if you notice that you're adding weight because of too much of the food that you take. So there are medication that you can be given to suppress the appetite and the things that you consume. And of course, remember, physical activity is also still part of treatment, where you need a professional fitness instructor who can help you as you work on your diet and the management that you have. They can walk you through those kind of things.